Today's news highlights. Date May 19, 2025. News highlights on the 16th. The Executive Yuan Zhou-Rongta's cabinet held a media tea to put forward 8 major policy priorities, including promoting long-term care 3.0, marriage and childbirth, balancing the 6 major industrial zones, developing innovative industries, and implementing 17 strategies for national security, emphasizing the protection of the democratic way of life from infiltration and the threat of the United Front. At the same time, in response to the energy transition, nuclear power has been gradually decommissioned and renewable energy has been developed. The Democratic Progressive Party, DPP, announced that it was 57.3% satisfied, but the opposition parties criticized the judicial, energy and cross-strait policies for being unpopular, and the KMT even launched the 519 National Loudspeaker Action to express its dissatisfaction. News highlights. Retired U.S. Navy Rear Admiral Montgomery suggested on the 15th that in order to strengthen Taiwan's defense capability, the U.S. Joint Training Corps in Taiwan should be expanded from 500 to 1,000 people, and called on Taiwan to increase its defense budget to 5% of GDP. He pointed out that the mainland is more likely to exert pressure through cyber attacks, energy, and finance, rather than directly invading Taiwan by force. Former Pacific Army Commander Flynn emphasized the importance of making missile combat readiness combat ready, while Campbell advocated strengthening the deployment of the U.S. Navy to deter blockade. Panelists generally agreed that the risk of a blockade outweighs an invasion, and that the U.S. should continue to prepare for war. News highlights. Recently, China's new crown epidemic has heated up again, and official data shows that the positive test rate has doubled, but the specific number of cases and deaths has not been announced, causing public concern. Crowds have emerged in hospitals in many places, and it has been reported on the internet that a large number of people have symptoms such as fever and cough, and are suspected of being infected with the new crown. There is a widespread belief that the authorities have deliberately downplayed the epidemic and called it a cold. The Beijing Center for Disease Control and Prevention confirmed that the circulating strain is the XDV variant clade NB.1. In addition to China, Hong Kong, Singapore, and other places have also seen a significant increase in COVID-19 cases recently, causing regional concern. News highlights. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang called on the United States to relax the ban on Chinese chips, arguing that China's AI market cannot be ignored. Despite the intensification of competition in China's mature manufacturing processes, TSMC has maintained its advantage in the fields of AI and high-performance computing with advanced processes such as 3nm and 2nm, and is actively expanding production capacity and promoting advanced packaging technology. In 2025, it is expected that the wafer foundry market will be uneven, and the pressure on mature processes will be high, and manufacturers must seek differentiated development. At the same time, the gallium arsenide industry is also ushering in new opportunities and challenges, and WIN and Hongzha are actively deploying to strive for growth. News highlights. Taiwan stocks benefited from the 520 market and the Taipei Computer Show, and the legal person is optimistic that the short term will continue to fluctuate upward, challenging the 22,000 point level, and exploring the half-year and annual lines. With the withdrawal of funds, foreign capital overbought on the 11th, the strong NT dollar, and the high probability of the 520 market rising over the years, market confidence has rebounded, and the trading volume has amplified the assist index. However, Moody's downgrading of the U.S. credit rating may affect the exchange rate and capital momentum, which will become a follow-up observation variable. News highlights. At the 2025 Berkshire shareholders meeting, Warren Buffett emphasized that he will hold the shares of Japan's 5 major trading companies for a long time, or even not sell them for 50 years, showing deep trust in Japan's economy and corporate culture. Berkshire has invested more than $20 billion with an annualized return of more than 30%. Warren Buffett praised these trading companies for their stable cash flows, high dividends and low price-to-earnings ratios, which are in line with his moat stock selection philosophy. The successor, Abel, also said that he would continue the cooperation and meet regularly to demonstrate Berkshire's long-term value investment strategy of growing together. News highlights. Hongdae Welfare Foundation for the Elderly pointed out that ageism in language has become a hidden concern in the ultra-aging society, and terms such as not understanding the trend and elder map have invisibly linked the elderly with backwardness and burden. According to the Anglo-American corpus, negative depictions of the elderly are 6 times more positive, and there are also 8 adults in Taiwan who have experienced discrimination in consumption. Through data analysis and social dialogue, the foundation hopes to eliminate language bias, create a more age-friendly environment, and uncover the challenges of an aging society, such as the increase in living alone and the high pressure of caregiving. News highlights. Computex 20th, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang took the lead in delivering a keynote speech today, 19, previewing the release of a number of new products and systems, focusing on the 3 main axes of AI PC, server, robotics, and quantum computing, which has attracted much attention. This speech is also the second opening of Huang's speech after 2023, and the outside world is looking forward to NVIDIA's future development blueprint. At the same time, there were speeches by leaders of technology giants such as Honhai, MediaTek, Qualcomm, Supermicro, and ARM, showing the vigorous momentum of the AI and semiconductor industries. News highlights. According to the latest investment trends in Taiwan stocks of domestic life insurance financial holdings, the three major financial holdings, including Cathay Gold, Fubon Gold, and Kai Fund, have increased their bank-type financial holdings in the first quarter, especially Mega Gold, which is the most popular, with a total increase of more than 136,000 shares. The legal person pointed out that in the currency war environment, bank financial holdings have benefited from the decline in the cost of funds, the increase in demand for joint loans and hedging, and the increase in swap income. Among them, Zhaofeng Gold, CITIC Gold, Yushin Gold, etc., which have complete overseas layouts, are favored. On the whole, Cathay Gold and Kai Fund actively increased their weight, while Fubon Gold carried out a share swap of eliminating the weak and retaining the strong. News highlights. U.S. President Trump fiercely criticized Walmart on the 17th for hinting at a price increase due to tariffs, emphasizing that Walmart should absorb the cost of tariffs on its own, and not to shift the responsibility for price increases to tariffs, and said that I was staring. Walmart CEO Dong Mingguan said that the tariff rate is too high, the profit is limited, and plans to raise the price of some products this month and the beginning of summer. On the same day, Trump also slammed Fed Chairman Powell and advocated that interest rates should be cut as soon as possible. A Walmart spokesperson responded that it would do its best to keep prices low. A number of retailers will report earnings this week, and the market will focus on whether to follow up with price increases, but under pressure from Trump, the industry may avoid mentioning price adjustments. News highlights. The 45-year-old Golden Song singer Caoge ended his 14-year marriage with stylist Wu Suling in 2022, and recently appeared in the East Lake Market, wearing sling shorts, tanned and fat. After the divorce, Caoge lived with his dog at Niahu Studio, and often traveled back and forth between China and other parts of Asia to perform. The agent revealed that he is working on a new album, plans to release a new single this year, and is preparing for a world tour. News highlights. Former U.S. President Joe Biden, 82, was diagnosed with highly aggressive prostate cancer that had metastasized to the bone and a Gleason score of 9. Experts point out that while there is currently no cure, new hormones and chemotherapy can significantly prolong life and maintain quality of life. Biden is discussing treatment options with his family and expects to decide on a course of treatment in the coming weeks. News highlights. A female teacher surnamed Cai in Hualien was invaded and strangled to death by a man surnamed Lu in the church dormitory on the evening of the 17th, and the lower half of the deceased was disheveled. Lu Nan was locked down for harassing a female teacher for a long time, but he still came to the door many times after being blocked, and used the kitchen window in the back of the dormitory to break in the crime. The suspect confessed to killing but denied sexual assault, and was sent to the police for homicide and detained. The prosecution will conduct an autopsy to clarify the cause of death, and the case has raised concerns about the safety protection of rural areas. News highlights. The 2025 World Games kicked off on the 17th, with NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang serving as the finale of the 5 Flame representatives. Behind the scenes, he helped the 104-year-old badminton player Lin Yumao to sign autographs, surprised by his advanced age, and asked the secret of longevity. Lin humorously replied, "See more beautiful women," causing the audience to laugh. Although Lin Yumao is old but in good spirits, netizens praised him for looking like 75 years old and praised him for his healthy life wisdom. Other Flame representatives include Lin Yuding, Peng Zhenmin, and Zhang Aijia. News highlights. South Korean cheerleader Lee Joo-hun, who joined the Chinese professional baseball Fubon cheerleading team in March this year, has skyrocketed in popularity, and it is rumored that the price of his attendance at the event is as high as 1.2 million yuan, far exceeding his Taiwanese counterparts, and even 4 times that of Lin Xiang and twice that of Lee Duowai. Generally, the attendance fee of Taiwanese cheerleaders ranges from about 3 to 100,000 yuan, and Lee Zejun's price code can be called the crown of the mid-career cheerleading team. According to people familiar with the matter, the high price may include the cost of her air ticket from South Korea to Taiwan, which is why the price is so amazing. News highlights. Guitarist Chiu Chi of the orchestra Maizia Group announced his early withdrawal from the group without warning a few days ago, and the lead singer Go Bai angrily exposed his 7 major evil behaviors, including breaking appointments, smashing the studio, emotional control, etc., and accused Chiu Chi of disrespecting the members and work. Although all the members still attended the finale of the Ashore Music Festival of Chung'an University on the 17th, the atmosphere was cold, and Chiu Chi even sang with his back to the dog, and left the venue directly after the performance, which made the fans sad. The incident sparked heated discussions on the internet, and the outside world paid attention to the future direction of Maizia Group. News highlights. On the 16th, the Central Election Committee announced that the recall bill of Chen Yuling, a member of the Democratic Progressive Party's Nantou County, was established and will vote on July 13th. The number of signatures exceeded the legal threshold, but 50 of the deaths were suspected of being forged and will be transferred to the prosecution for investigation. Chen Yuling bitterly criticized the outrageous list of CO signers, and will sue the initiators of the CO signers for forging documents, emphasizing his innocence, calling on voters to vote for disagreeing with the recall, and saying that he will continue to focus on serving voters. News highlights: with the rise of fast fashion and e-commerce, the recycling volume of used clothes in Taiwan has risen, but due to the sharp drop in export prices and rising disposal costs, the profits of the recycling industry have plummeted, and the industry is on the verge of a sunset. Used clothes used to cost 3 to 5 yuan per kilogram, but now only 1 to 2 yuan remain. The Ministry of Environment promotes smart sorting facilities to improve the efficiency of material identification. In 2023, about 82,000 tons will be recycled in Taiwan, most of which will be used for second-hand clothes, wipes or fuel. Due to the increase in quality threshold and freight costs, many industry players have withdrawn from the market, and recycling clothing may become a loss-making business. News highlights: many people have stiff, stuck fingers in the morning, and it may not be just due to overuse. Physician Zhang Jiaming pointed out that if the finger cannot be straightened in the morning, needs to be broken with the other hand, or even feels the hard lump in the palm, you should be alert to the possibility of imbalance in blood sugar control. Long-term hyperglycemia can lead to hardening of tissues and tendon sticking, increasing the risk of diabetes. He suggested that tendon ultrasound and blood glucose tests should be performed when symptoms occur to avoid delaying treatment, as many people find abnormal blood sugar from hand symptoms. News highlights: the DPP authorities stressed the need to strengthen national defense, and last year resumed one-year compulsory service, and 9,127 people were originally planned to be recruited, but only 6,956 were actually recruited, with a shortage of more than 2,000 soldiers, indicating that it was difficult to recruit soldiers. In addition, the shortage of equipment in the troops has affected the quality of training, and the officers and men have jointly expressed their feelings to the legislators. Due to the declining birth rate and further education, the number of students recruited this year is estimated to be revised down to 9,839. The number of volunteers has also been significantly reduced, with 5,486 fewer posts budgeted for 2025 than the previous year, equivalent to the evaporation of 11 joint battalions. The Ministry of Defense is working to improve recruitment and retention, while filling the equipment gap through the budget year by year. News highlights: former U.S. President Joe Biden was diagnosed with aggressive prostate cancer and has metastasized to the bone, causing concern. Physician Zhang Jiaming pointed out that prostate cancer is a common cancer in men, with a median age of 67 years old, which is related to age, genes, obesity, environmental pollution, etc. It is recommended to reduce the risk by eating a healthy diet with more cruciferous vegetables, legumes, and vitamins, regular exercise, and avoiding exposure to environmental hormones. Annual PSA testing and anal examination can help with early detection and improve the cure rate. News highlights: Chinese singer Tian Fuqian recently launched the Tian Tune Live in Life Wild Tour, and the first stop was selected to sing in Yantian, Tainan, attracting the attention of fans. On the 17th, she posted Tainan's private itinerary through IG restrictions, sitting on the side of the road without makeup, munching on oysters, which formed a strong contrast with the exquisite makeup on the stage, showing a natural and fresh charm. Tian Fuqian once lost his appearance and looked like Wang Shijian, but this time he appeared in a literary and youthful style, smiling sweetly and smiling like a Corona fan. The originally scheduled New Taipei performance was postponed to Nanta for some reason, which sparked heated discussions among fans, and she also posted on the community to appease her supporters. News highlights: Cai Shahan appeared on the red carpet of the 78th Cannes Film Festival with the movie Left-Handed Girl, wearing a black hollowed-out dress to show elegance and confidence, which aroused netizens to praise the anti-aging goddess. Now 50 years old, she relies on a healthy diet and high self-discipline to maintain her excellent condition, and a daily mask and regular sonic treatments have become the secret to her skin. She emphasized that beauty is to live for herself, showing a comfortable and calm attitude, and perfectly interpreting the charm and power of 50-plus women. News highlights: the inauguration mass of the new Pope Liang XIV was held at the Vatican on the 18th, and former Vice President Chen Qianzhan attended as a special presidential envoy, handed over a congratulatory letter from President Lai Ching-te and presented a commemorative postage pack of the Taiwan Church and historical photos of epidemic prevention materials, highlighting the friendship between Taiwan and the Vatican. The ceremony was solemn and attended by delegations from more than 150 countries, and Chan interacted with dignitaries from many countries, including friends from the United States, the European Union, Japan, and other countries. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs stressed that Taiwan continues to demonstrate international engagement and humanitarian care, and embodies the spirit of Taiwan can help. News highlights: Chinese nationals have been smuggled to Guanyin Beach in Dawin in rubber boats, raising concerns about the loopholes in Taiwan's coastal defenses. Following the arrest of a father and son on the 16th, Douyin internet celebrity Shandong Kaij claimed to return to China after planting the five-star flag, and ridiculed the ineffectiveness of Taiwan's radar. The Coast Guard said that the video has not been altered, and is checking whether it is being photographed, and admitted that it is difficult for radar detection of small boats, and has planned to build infrared thermal images and intelligent monitoring systems to improve detection and prevention efficiency. Officials pointed out that the CCP may use this to launch cognitive operations and disrupt the people's minds, and the Coast Guard will strengthen scientific and technological auxiliary logistics and joint monitoring to protect the security of coastal defense. News highlights: former U.S. President Joe Biden was diagnosed with aggressive prostate cancer, reminding men of this common cancer. The symptoms of prostate cancer are not obvious in the early stage, and the advanced stage may affect urination and cause pain. Risk factors include age, obesity, and family history, and diagnosis is mostly based on PSA examination and biopsy. If detected early, the cure rate is high. In the late stages, survival rates decrease. Treatment depends on the condition and may include surgery, radiation therapy, chemotherapy, and hormonal therapy. Men over the age of 50 are recommended to be screened regularly to improve the chances of early diagnosis and successful treatment. News highlights: recently, many artists have attracted attention because of the issue of flash soldiers, and the internet celebrity was questioned about desertion, and she posted a photo of her youth when she was serving as an alternative soldier on Facebook in response to the acid people, emphasizing that she had served responsibly. In 2017, he underwent gender readjustment surgery with the funding of his ex-boyfriend Pineapple, and the two had a relationship that was envied by everyone, but they later broke up due to differences in ideas, and appeared in the media again due to debts and rough controversy. Fans supported her waist and encouraged her to be herself and not be affected by sour words. News highlights: Chinese actor Liu Han and actress Guan Xiaotong have been in a stable relationship since their relationship was made public in 2017, but there has been news of their breakup recently. Although the two parties did not respond officially, the ambiguous responses of friends, coupled with the reduction of interactions and the deletion of related social content between each other, strengthened the credibility of the breakup rumors. The lyrics of Liu Han's new song One Day reveal his reluctance to his past feelings, which is reminiscent of the changes in the relationship between the two. Fans are still waiting for a positive response from the two, but it is still shrouded in uncertainty for now. News highlights: Eason Chan was originally scheduled to sing at Kaohsiung Arena from the 16th to the 18th, but due to the diagnosis of new crown pneumonia, he urgently announced the postponement of the concert and apologized to fans through the community. On the evening of the 18th, Weibo suddenly spread the fake news of Eason Chan's death, which sparked heated discussions. Mainland singer Ye Xiaoyu came forward late at night to clarify that he had confirmed with Eason Chan's assistant that the news was untrue, emphasizing that teacher Eason is fine now, and angrily denounced the rumor mongers as shameful. The incident aroused the attention of netizens and reminded them not to believe fake news. News highlights: variety show recently went to the exterior of the China Agricultural Palace in Taiwan, and the host Hu Guo led the team to challenge the game of Sheneng Blessing Show, wearing masks, attacking with rice ears, and defending with iron basins, and deciding the winner in 3 rounds of offense and defense. Hu Guo volunteered to demonstrate, but was hit by Guo's Hong Gaiyu repeatedly, and was beaten again after failing to counterattack, reproducing the fate of being beaten by Hong Gaiyu in the past. Then in the Taichung one-day tour team competition, artists Lu Xinyu, Milk, and Ma Qiaobi joined hands to challenge the high wall, bouncing mat and pool level. Ma Qiaobi inspired the scene to not give up in the face of low tide, moved the audience, although he finished in 187 seconds and did not win the championship, but showed his perseverance and won applause. News highlights: artist Ai Wei's wife Chen Meiling, Lisa, suffered from severe jaundice and ascites due to her family's hereditary polycystic liver and polycystic kidney disease, and her condition deteriorated sharply at the beginning of this year, and she needed to wait urgently for liver replacement. Although many well-wishers with blood types responded to donate livers, they were still unable to undergo transplantation due to bacterial infection and worsening fluid accumulation. Lisa died on the afternoon of the 18th at the age of 61. Ai Wei once tried his best to save his beloved wife, and was visited and encouraged by Chow Yun-fat, and the two insisted on staying together after ups and downs, which is embarrassing. News highlights: in order to accompany her 68-year-old father, Cao Yan, the queen of golden songs, resolutely shaved her head and released a video of her hair shaving and a photo with her father on IG, emotionally saying "Always be with you." The agent revealed that Cao Yan couldn't help crying when she shaved her hair, not sad but emotionally cathartic, praising her for being very brave. Both father and daughter have flat heads. Cao Yan laughed like a matchstick, and her father also praised her for being young and cute, and the friends around her commented on her unanimously positively, showing strong family affection and support. News highlights: Jensen Huang, founder and CEO of NVIDIA, took the stage of the Taipei Pop Music Center, Bailiu, today, 19, to deliver a keynote speech for the Taipei International Computer Show, Computex 2025, and the focus of the market is the location of NVIDIA's Taiwan headquarters, which is expected to be officially announced in the speech. Huang Zhengxun pointed out in a recent interview that the team will find a piece of land in Taiwan and use it to build a larger office. Although the location has not been officially announced, but, Huang sold out, laughing and teasing, "In my keynote, I might say. Arouse market attention. News highlights: a 29-year-old female teacher surnamed Cai from a middle school in Hualien was found in her residence on the 17th, and the police judged that she was suspected of being strangled, and sexual assault was not ruled out because her pants were taken off. The police locked up the suspect who had failed to woo the other party, and arrested a 26-year-old man surnamed Lu with a speech impairment at noon yesterday, 18, in the Zinken Seawall windbreak, although the other party admitted to killing by mistake, but denied sexually assaulting the female teacher, and the police transferred the whole case to the local prosecutor's office according to the crime of homicide. After the prosecutor's re-interrogation, it was determined that Lu Nan was seriously suspected, and there was a risk of fleeing and destroying evidence, so he applied to the court for detention last night. After the Hualien District Court held a detention court on the 19th, it ruled that Lu Nan was detained and forbidden to be seen. News highlights: the 2025 Shuangbei World Prime Age Games opened on the 17th, attracting athletes from more than 100 countries. 104-year-old badminton player Lin Yumao served as the representative of the Flame, and when he interacted with NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang, Huang was amazed by his frozen age. Huang asked the secret of longevity, and Lin responded with the words "see more beauties," which amused the audience. Netizens praised Lin Yumao for looking only 75 years old, with firm and energetic skin, calling him a model of healthy life. News highlights: in the last session of the Legislative Yuan, Blue and White jointly cut the total budget of the central ministries by 207.6 billion yuan, and asked the Executive Yuan to delete 63.6 billion yuan, resulting in an average reduction of about 25% in the general subsidy of local governments. The Controller's Office has notified the local government that some counties and cities have been deducted since May, and Mieli County's financial situation is poor and the impact is the greatest. The Executive Premier, Chuk Wingtai, said that this was a helpless move, and the executive agency would propose a constitutional bill in response. The governments of Hsinchu, Yunnan, Mieli and other counties and cities called on the central government to allocate funds normally, emphasizing that local financial difficulties need to be faced. News highlights: after the death of Huang Xiaosan, the leader of the Bamboo Union Gang, in February this year, the new gang leader was unresolved. At the end of March, White Wolf Zhang Anil held a banquet in the Kong Yuan restaurant of the Legislative Yuan and invited 35 people to vote for the gang leader, but due to police intervention, it was changed to a simple meal. Recently, it has been reported that the CCP is actively intervening in the election of the leader of the Bamboo Union Gang, which may lead to the new gang leader becoming a Chinese agent, triggering a high degree of national security vigilance. The mainstream of the gang adheres to Taiwan first and opposes the pro-China line, and the crisis of gang split has intensified. National security figures stressed that if anyone is involved in treason and betrayal of Taiwan, they will be severely punished to prevent gangsters from becoming tools of CCP infiltration. News highlights: recently, the new crown epidemic has continued to heat up, and the number of people seeking medical treatment due to infection in Taiwan from May 4 to 10 reached 9,978, rising for 5 consecutive weeks. Pediatric infectious disease physician Yan Junya pointed out that the symptoms of this wave of epidemic are changeable, similar to colds, flu, and even gastroenteritis, and some children have a high fever before being confirmed positive. Although most children recover within 3 to 5 days, he reminded parents to pay attention to the 4 major warning signs of severe illness, including persistent mental malaise or difficulty breathing after fever has subsided, persistent vomiting and headache, failure to eat or urinate for more than 12 hours, as well as convulsions and unconsciousness. News highlights: in his keynote speech, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang pointed out that NVIDIA has transformed from a chip company to a global leader in AI infrastructure, and will build an intelligent infrastructure similar to the power system during the Industrial Revolution. He looks back on the company's history, from the launch of CUDA in 2006 to change the way computing is done, to the start of the AI revolution in 2016, and the acquisition of Mellanox to strengthen the data center architecture. Huang emphasized that AI data centers will become AI factories in the future, producing new assets called tokens, and NVIDIA has unveiled a 5-year roadmap for the future, envisioning AI to become an indispensable core infrastructure for all industries and lives. News highlights: the 2025 Shuangbei World Prime Games opened on the 17th, and the 90-year-old artist Kunling's grandfather Lawrence performed brilliantly, winning gold in the javelin and silver in the 100-meter sprint in a single day, which amazed the audience. Lawrence signed up for a total of 5 events, showcasing amazing physical fitness and perseverance, and encouraging seniors to maintain their exercise habits. Zhou and Kunling expressed their pride and congratulations through the community, praising their grandfather's inspiring performance. Kunling's father also said that the family was moved to encourage each other and showed their admiration and love for their elders. News highlights: the number 2 unit of the number 3 nuclear power plant was officially shut down on the evening of the 17th, and Taiwan entered the era of zero nuclear power. Yang Jiafa, a grassroots employee of Taipower, pointed out that the evening output of coal-fired units hit the highest since May, and gas and oil-fired power generation also surged simultaneously, and the amount of fuel even needed to be replenished by Penghu, resulting in a significant increase in carbon emissions at night. According to Taipower data, thermal power generation accounts for 92%, while renewable energy accounts for only 4.38%. Opposition legislators criticized the government's misconduct of energy policy, accusing the government of disregarding people's health, leading to higher electricity prices and worsening air pollution. News highlights: the 2025 Shuangbei World Prime Age Games opened at the Taipei Arena on the evening of the 17th, and Taipei Mayor Zhang Wanan said that there is no restriction on carrying flags with the words Taiwan or Taiwan in the competition venue and rest area. Yan Lingzi, a non-party member of Chi City Councilor who once presided over the 419 Reject the United Front and Defend Taiwan activity, also attended. Due to the many restrictions on the national flag, she changed to wear the World Baseball Top 12 jersey printed with the word Taiwan to enter the stadium, which was strongly supported by netizens and praised Support Taiwan. In addition to the national flags of many countries at the opening ceremony, Taiwan flags and slogan flags also appeared, which were unblocked, demonstrating the spirit of supporting Taiwan. News highlights: many of the snack bars that Huida CEO Jensen Huang likes to eat are located near MRT stations, and because of the large crowds and convenient transportation in these locations, low-cost snacks are especially easy to succeed with high table turnover rates. Expert Chen Jiming pointed out that Taipei's popular MRT business districts, such as Taipei Main Station, Ximen Station, Shifua Station, etc., are ideal choices for starting a business and opening a store, but the rent is high, with a monthly rent of 5,000 to 10,000 yuan per ping, and the cost varies greatly. For example, in the Tenpaiyang storefront, the monthly rent in the low-rent area is about 20,000 yuan, and 500 bowls of braised pork rice are sold to balance the rent, while the high-rent area needs to sell 2,500 bowls. Entrepreneurs need to consider the cost of rent, manpower, equipment, etc., and investigate the flow of people on the spot, and carefully plan the site selection. News highlights: Taiwan stocks rebounded from a low of 17,306.97 on April 9 to a high of 21,854.5 on May 16, an increase of 26%, and a surge of 4,547 points in just over a month. On the 19th, due to Moody's downgrading the U.S. credit rating, market panic heated up, causing Taiwan stocks to fall more than 200 points intraday. The proportion of electronic stocks declined, and shipping stocks rose. Experts believe that it is normal for the price to pull back, and the risk of default is still controllable. Looking ahead, benefiting from the 520 market, Computex, and Nvidia's financial reports, coupled with TSMC's price adjustment, the mainstream of electronics and container stocks is expected to continue to rise. News highlights: Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang warmly opened the show at Computex Taipei, emphasizing Taiwan's core position in the global computer industry and saying that Taiwan needs to start from Taiwan to create new markets in the future. He looked back on Nvidia's 30-year history, pointing out that the CUDA computing platform launched in 2006 changed the way computers operate, and the DGX-1 supercomputer released in 2016 drove the AI revolution and donated it to OpenAI. The presentation will also explore new developments in the field of artificial intelligence and robotics, and bring surprises. News highlights: Moody's downgraded the U.S. credit rating from AAA to AA1, triggering financial market turmoil, which led to lower U.S. stock futures and U.S. Treasury futures, and the U.S. dollar also fell intraday in Asia. Moody's accused successive presidents and Congress of failing to control the budget deficit effectively, and the downgrade could exacerbate market doubts about U.S. debt. Experts say the downgrade could push up Treasury yields and put pressure on the dollar, increasing the government's debt burden and further impacting the economy. ECB President Christine Lagarde also pointed out that market confidence in U.S. policy has weakened. However, Barclays Analysis believes that the downgrade will have a limited impact on the market, and there has been no sell-off in U.S. bonds. China's reduction of its holdings of U.S. bonds in March attracted attention, but it was seen as an adjustment of the holding period, not a real withdrawal from the dollar. News highlights: at the Taipei International Computer Show, Computex, on May 20, Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang delivered a keynote speech on the 19th, emphasizing that AI has become a new generation of infrastructure that will profoundly change all walks of life and life like electricity and networks. He announced that Nvidia will transform from a traditional chip company to an AI infrastructure provider, building an AI factory data center to drive the global economy and innovation. Huang reflected on Nvidia's 30-year history and thanked its partners in Taiwan for showing a blueprint for a future that combines hardware and software with global partners to dominate technology in the AI era. News highlights: 88-year-old jet grandma Pan Ziyuyun won the gold medal in the world's Wanjian 100m sprint in 27.10 seconds on May 18, showing amazing energy. She was nicknamed when she was young, and after many years of retirement, she refused to operate due to knee pain, and instead relied on exercise to resume running, returning to competition at the age of 65 and winning many successes, winning 3 gold medals at the age of 72 and breaking the record at the age of 75. At the age of 79, he successfully climbed Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa, setting a record for the oldest mountaineering in Taiwan. She is determined to continue to challenge and aim to run to the age of 100, showing strong will and ageless spirit. News highlights: heavy rain in Hualien Mountains yesterday afternoon triggered landslides, resulting in the burial of the railroad tracks between the North Loop line of the Taiwan Railway and Rencong, and the 477th Xinjiang train was trapped in the tunnel for more than 1 hour without electricity and air conditioning, and passengers helped each other to save themselves in the dark. Emergency repair personnel to clean up. The damaged road section is about 200 meters long. The power facilities are seriously damaged. It is expected that the tram line can be laid and further repaired after 8 p.m. on the 20th at the earliest, and the actual opening time still depends on the progress of the repair. News highlights: former legislator Lin Changzuo will serve as the representative in Finland, and Foreign Minister Lin Jialong confirmed on the 19th that the personnel case is being handled, and stressed that Lin Changzuo has experience in diplomacy and international exchanges, especially in human rights and cultural diplomacy, which is in line with the value diplomacy concept promoted by President Lee King. Regarding the question of the airborne, Lin Jialong said that it will not affect the diplomatic system, and the special representative of the president has a quota limit to ensure the promotion space of career diplomats. News highlights: on May 15, the U.S. Congress held a hearing on preventing the CCP from invading Taiwan to discuss US-Taiwan coordination and military means to respond to the CCP's threat. Experts at the meeting pointed out that if the Chinese Communists attack Taiwan, the United States is confident of victory, but it may cause hundreds of thousands of lives. The retired general stressed the need for Taiwan to strengthen military training and implement defense in depth, and the United States should also strengthen the deployment of Indo-Pacific forces. During the meeting, the CCP was also criticized for misinciting UN Resolution 2758 to isolate Taiwan. News highlights: NVIDIA founder Jensen Huang today gave a speech at the Taipei Pop Music Center and announced that NVIDIA's Taiwan headquarters will be located in Taipei's Shilanbaitai Science and Technology Park, BICE-HECO, under the name NVIDIA Constellation. Huang said that after negotiating with a number of mayors, he finally chose this place, and although the cost was high, he decided to settle here. The headquarters is designed like a spaceship, symbolizing the vision of science and technology. Huang also thanked Taiwan's supply chain partners such as TSMC, Honhai, Wistron, etc. for their support, emphasizing Taiwan's key role in AI development. News highlights: North Korea recently recalls overseas workers dispatched to China's Liaoning province on a large scale in response to a 2024 riot by a woman worker who killed a supervisor, and 10 masterminds who were repatriated and executed. The incident exposed North Korea's difficulty in effectively controlling workers in factories near residential areas, triggering management pressures. In contrast, Jilin province is remote and convenient for closed surveillance, so labor dispatch is still retained. The analysis points out that North Korea's move reflects its shift to a more manageable dispatch environment in order to maintain its repressive rule. News highlights: in the first quarter of 2025, the most popular palace temple in Taiwan was released, and the Orthodox Luerman Temple of Our Lady of Luerman in Tainan won the championship with more than 7.08 million people, becoming the temple with the most pilgrims in Taiwan, mainly because of the New Year fireworks and Spring Cow event held in January, which combined fireworks and drones. Other people on the list include Beigong Chaotian Palace, Nankan Dynasty Tianfu, etc., of which Beishadan Gongtian Palace ranks 9th. According to the statistics of the Tourism Administration, faith and culture still occupy an important position in the hearts of the people of Taiwan. News highlights: from 8 a.m. on May 19 to 7 a.m. on May 20, Taoyuan City and New Taipei City will have water supply outages for 16 to 23 hours in Lingkou, Taishan, Wugu and other areas of Taoyuan City and New Taipei City, affecting about 270,000 households. The authorities set up 31 temporary water supply stations and reminded users to complete water storage 6 hours in advance to avoid a sudden drop in water pressure affecting end users. During the water outage, be sure to turn off the power of the pump to prevent fire and water pollution. Please contact the official website of Taiwan Water or call the 1910 hotline for details. News highlights: former U.S. President Joe Biden was diagnosed with aggressive prostate cancer that has metastasized to the bones and is currently evaluating treatment options. The news aroused concern, and the Trump couple and Secretary of State Rubio expressed their condolences and blessings. Biden's whereabouts have been low-key since leaving office, his health has been questioned repeatedly, and the recent leak of audio recordings has sparked discussions about his cognitive deterioration. He has said that the decision to withdraw from the 2024 election is quite difficult. News highlights: Chen Hanshang, the prosecutor of the New Taipei District Prosecutor, who has the title of the Most Beautiful Prosecutor, recently handed in his resignation, and is expected to leave after September this year, and revealed that he will open speeches and cooperation invitations. This year, 9 prosecutors from the New Taipei District Procuratorate have left or become lawyers, setting a record high, and it is still difficult to retain talents despite the monthly salary of 210,000 yuan. The Ministry of Justice emphasized that the overall number of resignations has not increased significantly, and it is a personal career choice. News highlights: NVIDIA announced that it will name its overseas headquarters in the Bice-Hike area of Baitu and Jilin District, Taipei, as NVIDIA Constellation. Huang said the decision was made to build a new office as the business grew beyond the constraints of the existing office. During the site's election process, many counties and cities actively invited, but finally chose Baishike, which has convenient transportation and is close to the Nangang R&D Center. Huang also humorously mentioned that the lease has entered the mayor's approval stage and invited citizens to support it. The new headquarters will facilitate exchanges and talent scheduling with Taiwanese partners. News highlights the mainland's 17-year-old actress Huang Yang wore 9.6 million earrings at her coming-of-age ceremony, which attracted attention, and the recent popular Little Flower Yu Shuxin was also involved in the collusion of family officials and businessmen. Yu Shuxin's grandfather, Yu Ziwan, is the vice-chairman of the state-owned enterprise Xinyu Iron and Steel Group, and his father Yu Pija runs the private enterprise Huashang Mining, and the two have a related party transaction of 1.5 billion yuan. The outside world questioned the transfer of interests, but supporters pointed out that Grandpa Yu had long since retired and there was no evidence of violations. The Yu family was also exposed to contract and loan disputes, and the company under its name has become a dishonest person subject to execution many times. News highlights the Criminal Bureau cracked a drug factory in Taichung's Taiping district, dispatched armored vehicles to break down the door, and arrested 2 suspects. The factory was usually closed, and there were people entering and exiting at night and vehicles using fake plates to evade the police. The police will continue to trace the flow of drugs and transfer them for investigation on suspicion of drug crimes. News highlights a work safety accident occurred at Pier 108 of Kaohsiung Port yesterday, 18th, when a coupling vehicle collided with a crane and guardrail, resulting in a 71-year-old driver surnamed Huang being trapped. When rescuers rescued him at 5:30, the driver had no breathing and heartbeat, and he still died after first aid. The accident occurred at 4 p.m., the scene is located in the A6 area of Jiaoming Container Factory, and the detailed cause is pending investigation. News highlights on the afternoon of the 17th, the Taipei MRT broke into the carriage again, a huge rat scurried in the carriage in the direction of Hulong at Kaoyao Station, and the passengers panicked. Beijing has sent personnel to deal with and send the train back to the locomotive factory for disinfection and cleaning, and emphasized that the system prohibits eating and drinking, the living environment of rats is limited, and will continue to strengthen the hunting and eradication measures. In the past year or so, there have been many rat invasions, and experts suggest that Beijing strengthen disinfection and management to prevent rats from biting and damaging wires and affecting safety. News highlights Huang Zhengxuan, the founder of Huida, announced that the Taiwan headquarters will be located in Chilinbaitu, Taipei, naming the T17 and T18 plots of Baishike that are not fully developed, which has detonated the topic of the real estate market. Netizens are hotly discussing the NVIDIA house effect, predicting that Shipei, Tianmu, Baidu, Sankong, Luzhu and other places will benefit, and high-paid engineers will become the main force of potential home buyers. However, experts remind that construction still takes time, and the purchase of houses should be given priority to self-occupation to avoid the risk of blind price chasing and speculation. News highlights the well-known chain teppanyaki restaurant Brother Liudi has recently closed down many branches in Taichung without warning, suspected to be due to the company's financial problems. Employees revealed that the company has been in arrears since March this year, and it is estimated that more than 70 to 80 employees have not received their salaries, and some branches even rely on their own revenue to maintain their own salaries. In addition, some stores have been seized by the IRS, and the situation has been worsened. News highlights according to the latest statistics of Taiwan Railway, there are 36 stations in Taiwan with less than 100 people entering and leaving each day last year, and the most deserted is Naishi Station on the Southern Loop Line, with an average of only about 2 people. Despite the sparse flow of people, Taiwan Railway emphasizes the service and freight function of remote small stations, and will not abandon stations because they do not make money, and has received government subsidies of 1.14 billion yuan. In comparison, Taipei Station has 122,000 daily passengers, indicating that there is a significant gap between urban and rural use, and how to balance efficiency and universal service will become a challenge in the future. News highlights a food poisoning outbreak occurred at the beginning of this year at the well-known Chinese restaurant Biyun Restaurant in Nangang, Taipei City, causing 35 people to feel unwell. Netizens lamented that once the food safety is closed, some people pointed out that the location is not in good history. This incident highlights the significant impact of the food safety incident on the reputation and operation of the restaurant, leaving many local residents regretting that there is no longer one Chinese food choice. News highlights eating hot pot to warm up is common, but using the wrong chopsticks can be harmful to your health. Doctor of Chemistry Kuang Shishan reminded that melamine chopsticks have poor heat resistance and formaldehyde and melamine may be released above 40 degrees Celsius, and long-term use may cause kidney disease or bladder cancer. Bamboo and wooden chopsticks are heat-resistant but easy to store bacteria, so they should be replaced regularly. Stainless steel chopsticks are the most heat-resistant and suitable for hot pot. Alloy chopsticks are stable, but the die is afraid of release. When eating hot pot, you should distinguish between raw and cooked chopsticks and choose the right material to avoid chronic poisoning. News highlights 50-year-old actress Jia Yongja recently shared the good news that her eldest daughter graduated from the University of Southern California, and the whole family went to the United States to attend the ceremony. She recalled the feeling of sending her daughter to study abroad and thanked her daughter for completing her studies amid the epidemic and challenges. Jia Yongja took a photo with her two daughters. The three of them had bright looks and outstanding temperament, and were praised by netizens as sisters. The post sparked heated discussions, and everyone left messages to congratulate and envy the happy family. News highlights Chinese actor Huang Zidao has transformed from an idol to an entrepreneur, and recently invested about $1.1 billion to build a tampon brand, emphasizing that "I hope everyone remembers the entrepreneur Huang Zidao." The product was announced on May 18 and sold 195,000 units within 15 minutes of going on sale, with an enthusiastic response. He said that the product was tried by his girlfriend Su Yiyang and was affirmed. The move stems from Chinese media exposing the black-hearted sanitary napkin incident and promising to build a transparent factory. However, this transformation also attracted controversy, and after the official announcement, it once lost 460,000 fans. News highlights Thailand's 33-year-old well-known DJ Tet was kidnapped and disappeared a few days ago, and his body was found in the forest of Kanchanaburi province on the 18th, with his hands tied behind his back, his head was shot, and his body was decomposed. It is reported that the deceased is suspected of having an affair with the drug lord's girlfriend Nam, and despite his girlfriend's repeated persuasions, he still refuses to listen, and is suspected of being shot by the drug lord in retaliation. Police have zeroed in on the suspect, suspecting that they are involved in a criminal syndicate. When the villagers were picking mushrooms, they found the body and called the police, and the incident shocked the local area. News highlights at 4:04 p.m. on the 19th, a major car accident occurred at Kyaugwang Street and Kyaochan Street, next to Peking University Elementary School, in the Three Gorges District, New Taipei City. A self-van crashed into a number of passers-by for unknown reasons, causing more than 10 minor and serious injuries, 4 of whom lost signs of life on the spot. The scene was exposed, and I saw a number of school children lying on the ground, and the ambulance personnel urgently knelt on the ground for CPR, and there were scattered school bags and car body fragments all over the ground, and the picture was quite terrifying. News highlights a dental clinic in Songshan District, Taipei, on the morning of the 19th, was shocked by the medical violence incident. A 21-year-old man surnamed Joe felt pain due to teeth cleaning, and angrily beat the female dentist in the face, causing her nose to bleed wildly and the floor to stain blood. Witnesses tried unsuccessfully to stop them and called the police for help. Zhou Zhen surrendered afterwards, saying that he lost control because the doctor did not respond to his discomfort. The police transferred him on suspicion of assault and medical treatment.